your book and you're getting ready for a book tour, all right. All right, guys, let's get started. My name is Nicole D. Miller, and I am the author of When Love Wins. When Love Wins is an urban Christian fiction tale of two young female cousins with a rift in their relationship. We have Natalie, who is the social advocate, faith based conservative writer. And she moves in with Ashley after her mom passes, thinking she's going to receive support from her family. Her cousin Ashley is the urban socialite, fashionista, and Ashley actually has a vendetta against Natalie. So Natalie is shocked to find out once she moves in, what she thinks she's going to get is not what she receives. She thinks she'll get a warm welcome. Instead, she receives an icy cold one. So, in this novel that is near and dear to my heart, as you guys know, it's my debut novel. There are topics of mental health ranging from anxiety, depression to cutting. There's also topics of parent absenteeism, neglect, grief, loss, recovery. There's sisterhood, love, friendship, and faith. You guys know I love a good faith story that's infusing Black culture. So contemporary African American literature regarding urban swag, urban language, urban clothing. So a really good read if you're of college age. Definitely grab this book. You can learn more at whenlovewins.love. All right, let's get started. So you guys know every week I piggyback off of my latest blog. The last blog post is called, let me double check because it's a long one, Birthdays, Earthquakes, and Hope. So I just was trying to combine everything that was happening in my mind and my heart in this one blog at that point in time, which my readers may have picked up on that. Like, okay, Nicole's got a lot that she's thinking about. And you guys know there's just a lot of things happening in our nation and in the world. So I touch on the the earthquake that happened in Turkey, Syria, which last I looked, there was a body count of 46,000. That could be more now. So that has still kind of messed me up. I'm still just trying to process and how to pray and what is the best way to pray for that situation when so many families have been affected by that loss. And then of course we just have Ukraine and Russia that's happening with their war and other wars that the news doesn't even cover. So a lot of hard negative things. But one positive that has surfaced recently in the news is the revival at Asbury University. And it's so interesting because learning about what's happening and spreading reminds me of my experience at Miami University. And oh my God, you guys, this was almost 20 years ago. I just don't even know what to do with that, but whatever. About 20 years ago, myself and several other students had a very similar experience of spiritual awakening, if you will, and an encounter with the eternal one, the source of life. And so many of us have never been the same, and it bonded us in such a way that many of us are still close today. And the interesting thing about what's happening at Asbury is that When Love Wins is a nod to those types of experiences. The goal of When Love Wins is to share with this generation that you can be young and love God. You can be love and be fly. You can love God and be fly and listen to hip hop. And God is in culture. And that's my goal with When Love Wins. So to see what's happening right now in this movement with the youth, which is hilarious that I am not part of that group anymore. But it warms my heart, because I know what I experienced, what my friends experienced is just a glimpse of what's happening now. And I do believe that what's happening now is just a glimpse of what's to come. So I really think what's happening and what we're seeing with people flocking in droves to worship the Creator is just going to be the beginning. And I do believe that this novel has a part in touching hearts in similar fashion. So, very encouraging. So, I kind of talk about those things. I also give a special shout out to the Toni Morrison, who I was blessed to participate in Lit Cleveland and Third Space Reading when they hosted their Toni Morrison tribute this weekend for her 92nd birthday. And I got to do a reading, which is available on my YouTube page. So if you're not already subscribed, subscribe. And if you're not watching this live, definitely subscribe because all of my lives and social media are uploaded to my YouTube page. But yeah, so I talk about all those things, just balancing out the good and the bad. I invite you guys to read the blog at NicoleDMiller.com and, share your thoughts on what's happening in your world as far as difficulties and the positives and how you're balancing out both. One of the things I talk about is how difficult it can be when we're on social media, because in one swipe, you can be cheering for someone and celebrating someone, their marriage, birthday, anniversary, trip, whatever. Then the next swipe, someone's so and so passed and something tragic happened. And then you're like grieving and sad. And if you're an empath like me, you are feeling all the feels for all the things, right? So, how do you balance that out? Part of it for me is writing. Writing is so great for me to get my emotions out. Prayer is great. Working out is great. I haven't been able to work out like I usually do. You guys have probably noticed there's been a diminishing of the step videos. And that has to do with some physical health issues that I've been having that I'm actually going to blog about soon. Interestingly enough, I had an appointment today with the doctor and I was like in tears. But that is the blessing when your physicians are spiritual as well and they get you. And it helps when they are not just Black, because I do believe we need Black professionals in the healthcare system because of the systemic racism we face. I'm not going to get into that. But they have a heart to understand when you are in pain, even if you're not crying, even if you have a blank face and you're saying, I am in pain. But that's like a whole nother, I'm not getting into that. So I'm just grateful that I have great healthcare professionals, and it does help that they're Black. I do feel that way because they're just naturally going to advocate for me. And not that you can't have advocates of other colors of skin tones, because you can. I just think you have a better probability if they're the same skin tone. So, long story short, I'll get into all that later in a different blog. So, I mentioned that I recently did a webinar for my alma mater, Miami University. I was so excited and so honored for that opportunity, you guys. It's been 20 years. Miami, I hold near and dear to my heart. But not everything I experienced in my college years was positive. You guys know, many of you know, I faced a breakup during the college years, but that led to my first book, which apparently was going to be the catalyst for a whole career. So, but there's some other things that I'm going to peel back in my future blog. So stay tuned. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Just go to NicoleDMiller.com, type in your little email on the little pop-up when I ask you to be a part of my newsletter, and you'll be in all the things, okay? So, I did want to just express how grateful I am to have been on that platform and share that stage with Erica Bates, who was amazing. I had such a good time with both Seth and Erica. I just am like, oh, we need to do like a round 2 of this. But it was a blessing to be representatives of Black alumni, especially when there's so many who are just like killing it. I'm like, how did I get on this? How did I get in this opportunity? But apparently it pays to be on social media a lot. So thanks, Seth. Thanks for that, But yeah, so we did that. And then I talked to you guys about the Toni Morrison reading. And then you guys know I did the interview with Vince Robinson at Open Doors earlier this month. So all of my things are done, okay, for the month of February. Although we are still celebrating Black History Month. And we do not stop at the end of February. We celebrate every day of the year, okay? But I did all my things this month. Right now, a lot of the focus, my energy is going to the publishing house's website. So if you're not following my Instagram page for Andy Miller Publishing, you need to do that. So type in at ND Miller Publishing. And there is a Facebook page. So you can hop over there and follow the Facebook page as well. And then pretty soon there's going to be a website, which should be happening in the next couple weeks. So that's happening. And then, of course, drum roll please, the book launch, okay? The book launch for When Love Wins is happening. I'm combining it with my 40th birthday, and it's happening the weekend of my birthday. So if you're in the Cleveland area, go to Eventbrite, type in Nicole D. Miller. It'll pop up. Or you can go on my Instagram at HCOHB, and it'll be there. And you could probably go on one of my Facebook pages. It should be pinned at the top. Now, I'm not just doing a physical launch. I'm also doing a virtual launch. So if you're not in Cleveland, that is no excuse, Seth Stewart, okay? You can still pop in the virtual launch. So the virtual launch will be March 31st. So that is also available. The tickets are available on Eventbrite. They are free. It's just a registration. And then you get to celebrate. And make sure you get your copy of When Love Wins. All books will be mailed that weekend. The audiobooks and ebooks will also be available. So you guys know we are doing an audiobook. This is my first. I think it's turned out well from what I've heard, but still be gracious with me. And so make sure you grab your copy of that as well. All right, I think those are all the things for now. Check back with me next week at Word of the Day Wednesdays. I will talk to you soon.